grind, though.
A working-class neighborhood in the south of Paris. Here, like often, the youth gets by hustling. But a new trend is raging. Underground fighting. Young men go at it, and others bet on them. Ufuk is 18 years old. He's a construction worker. This evening, he'll take part in one of these fights for the first time. He's already earned a certain reputation among his friends for fighting against neighborhood gangs.
We saw him fight. He knocked him out. Street fights, respect. He's famous for that.
This evening, there'll be a lot riding on him. Win or lose, Ufuk will take home 500 euros. Illegal fighting gives him a way to earn some easy money without resorting to crime.
He'd rather do underground fights than go steal or sell hash. He's getting his.
We're counting on him.
They're counting on me. I hope I can make them happy.
The man organizing the underground fight this evening lives just a few doors away. He recruited Ufuk, 38 years old. Jerome is stock manager in a store. He's married with a daughter.
You want cookies at 7 p.m.? It's too late, honey.
A family man without issues. And yet what he's organizing this evening is totally illegal.
If you want to come, you got to bring shorts, a t-shirt, and I'll give you gloves.
A few calls and the fighters are at the ready. For these types of fights, Jerome finds more and more gamblers, fans of violent shows. The new trend sees him pocketing up to 2,000 euros per event.
It's a bit of a black market, but for me it's not illicit, in fact, but it's not wrong. It's a sport, and it pays. It's cool. The people who come because they want to. They bet or they don't. They enjoy themselves too. So they watch the show. Some leave with money, others don't, like the casino. I think it's nice.
9 p.m. at Jerome's building.
All right, guys, here we go. Let's get in the car.
Okay, follow me.
Okay.
Jerome in the white shirt made an appointment to Ufuk and a few gamblers.
All right, go this way.
They head to the meeting point, kept secret until the last moment. Jerome wants to avoid leaks, and especially the police. But these aren't the only precautions he takes. With the audience for this kind of fight, things can get out of hand quickly.
All right, Ace, hurry up. I'm bringing my dog, too.
Why?
Because he's a pit bull. If things get crazy, he keeps people in check. It's just for show. He doesn't bite or anything. You just bring this type of dog and people chill out.
They all climb in cars toward an unknown destination. In all, some 30 spectators take off in 6 cars. In the back of Jerome's car, Ufuk is a bit tense.
A little pressure.
It's good pressure.
Yeah, it's good pressure. I like it.
Stay focused and put in a good performance. Concentration, stay focused, Ufuk. We've been training for a while. You'll get him. You'll kick his ass.
After 20 minutes on the road, we come to a deserted parking lot, across from a gym.
All right, guys, line up to be more discreet. Put on your high beams. Mr. A, high beams for you too. And the red car there. Turn your lights on, please.
Arranged in a semicircle, the cars light up the combat zone. They have to move fast, but Jerome's used to it. This type of gathering happens nearly every month. Kids are even paid to keep watch.
You'll stand there to check the road and we'll be the lookout. There's another down there.
Jerome is being careful because he's taking huge risks. Up to 3 years in prison if caught. Not only for organizing fights, but especially for the illegal gambling, a constant at these events.
Here's what you can bet on. There's a 3-minute warm-up round, so to speak. The second round is KO or draw. And there's no time limit.
The more there's violence, the more there's betting. This evening, there are a few gamblers, and the exchanges are discreet. The presence of our camera bothers them. It's 10:30 p.m. Ufuk is the first up. His opponent is also a kid from the neighborhood. Apart from their gloves, the two teens have no protection.
You aren't coming back if you don't bang it out.
Jerome is the commentator and referee. Ufuk with the red gloves weighs 10 kilos less than his opponent. Here, unlike official boxing, there are no weight classes. That only increases the danger.
Come on, show us more. Why are you here? Are you here for money? You have to work for it. You have to fight.
Yeah, I bet 100 euros. I bet 500.
The average age of the spectators is about 20 years old. Many of them bet on Ufuk, and Jerome knows it. They've come to see violence. The kids have been fighting for nearly 10 minutes, and they're out of breath.
Okay, enough.
Jerome stops the fight.
There's no point in wearing yourselves out.
Ufuk landed the most hits, so he's declared winner. But the boy is exhausted. No time to find out how he feels. If they don't want to be spotted, they have to be quick. The next fight is right after.
KO, 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 KO.
Frustrated by the first fight, the spectators demand a more violent match. And they'll get it. The man with the yellow gloves is a 40-year-old father. He's facing off against a colossus of half his age. At first glance, it's an uneven fight. And yet, after a few punches to the sides and to the temples, the young man falls. It's a knockout. The man's still on the ground, but in an underground fight, there's no medic. The only thing that counts here is money and violence.
I bet 100 euros I won and I'm going home.
Hundreds of euros changed hands this evening.
All right, group by group, there's a car. All right, listen up, guys. Everyone back to the cars.
The noise attracted attention from the neighbors. They have to clear out fast. Money, KOs, adrenaline, and clandestine organization. Dozens of underground fights are organized every weekend. And this new trend isn't limited to the ghettos of France. Ultraviolent sports have become a social phenomenon the world over. In the United States, it's free fighting, where all blows are allowed, including when the opponent is on the ground. The fighters are superstars, and their exploits are televised on the largest channels in the United States. The sport brings in more than $500 million in profits per year. Even more surprising, in New York, both fighters and spectators are stock traders and white-collar workers. That's the case with Michael, a real estate agent.
I guess the only conflict is if I come in looking all beat up.
And yet these fights are strictly illegal in the city. So how do they manage to organize these types of shows behind closed doors?
The politicians are saying, well, it's too violent. Based on what? What's your benchmark? Why do you say it's violent?
In France, free fighting is strictly forbidden. It's deemed to be too violent. However, that doesn't stop enthusiasts like Carrar from doing it. But here, it's secret, in dark rooms, far from police interference.
Lower your head. They're looking for you, you stupid.
A lot of KOs, never any doctors, but more and more gamblers.
Yeah, well done, go!
These illegal fights generate a lot of money.
Street fights bring in a lot, and we don't give a shit.
We'll also bring you to Thailand, where more and more French people come to practice this violent sport. But do they know that just a few kilometers away, children are exploited?
You down there, why aren't you doing anything?
Let's dive into the world of free fighting. Back to France, in a northern Paris suburb, at the end of an alleyway, hidden men are training. They've transformed this garage into a hidden boxing ring. Carrar, a 100-kilogram heavyweight, prepares for his next fight. He's training to beat his opponent on the ground, which is forbidden in France.
In France, it can be hard to find somebody who really wants to train like this. So I got a punching bag. But yeah, same thing. Lets me get rid of my nerves. Sometimes when I don't train on, I need to train. I need to land some punches and take some too.
After multiple arrests for assault and battery, Carrar lost his boxing license. Ever since, he's lost the right to participate in official boxing matches. Now he can only do underground fights.
All right, off to box.
Because free fighting is illegal, organizing these types of gatherings has become a shadow economy.
It's really in style. Almost every kid wants to try out, measure themselves. For me, yeah, there's a lot more underground fighting, yeah, of course.
There are fights almost every weekend. Carrar's fight is in 2 days, so this former judoka has to be in perfect physical condition. His training resembles that of a soldier. As with any high-level athlete, Carrar has his entourage. There's a whole team preparing him for his next fight.
Yeah, he's good. He likes it. He has to like it. Carrar has slimmed down.
Here's his trainer, along with his agent. He organizes the next match. And yet this man has nothing to do with the sporting world. His stage name is Morse. He's a controversial rapper who's made a splash with his polemic and violent songs. Some of his music has even been banned. The man sells very few albums. He's mostly known for being a provocateur. Morse has had numerous stints in prison for drug trafficking and violence.
I'm gonna break your whole jaw, you little asshole.
His bad boy image is his commercial basis. Morse has even created a line of clothing. His provocative videos that he posts online have millions of hits.
I rob these guys, I don't give a shit, this is my corner.
But these days, most of his returns come from his boxing talents. For the last 2 years, this man has a new business venture, organizing underground fights.
Our war machine is here.
How you doing, coach?
Hi.
Morse came to make sure his protege is in shape.
What's up?
There, you know, all the fights that we do with him, thanks to him, we become millionaires.
Why?
Because he's someone who never underestimates his opponent. He trains really hard, that's why he's so good.
He had some great wins, really great wins, which means in terms of betting, we brought in a lot of money.
They haven't become millionaires, but heavyweight fights are the most spectacular and thus the more profitable. And that's why Carrar is their fighter.
Carrar brings in about 20 or 30,000 euros per month. 20 to 30,000 when he has good fights, otherwise it's 10,000 per month, easy.
These totals are hard to verify. For the time being, Carrar trains with his coach. But to hit the jackpot, Morse has to find him an opponent for his next bout. Fortunately, one of his friends just proposed a fight.
This is Carl. He's the guy you found to fight with the dude that you found there. He said he's Parisian. So what's the guy like?
He's strong.
Does he fight? What has he done?
Oh, lots of fights.
Morse doesn't know the fighter. He accepts the proposition but imposes his conditions.
Let's be serious for a second. How many people do you have who want to bet?
About 30.
I want to see them first. And no guns. Nobody comes packing. I'll tell you that right now.
Morse is wary. That's because he knows that a lot of money is on the line, and he has to find a lot of bettors. Friday evening, we're in the heart of the capital, the night before the fight. Morse rented this nightclub to organize a PR party. He's financed the party with profits from his underground fights. The man doesn't hide anything, because listening to him, he has nothing to fear.
I'm lucky, I have dual citizenship. I'm also Algerian. So my entire personal life is in Algeria. I have nothing in France. So there, they can take my Audi. I'll give it to them. It doesn't work anyway.
This evening, Morse seizes the opportunity to convince as many gamblers as possible to come to tomorrow's fight.
Are you having a good time?
The more people, the more generous they are, and the more he'll make.
Thanks for coming, guys. It's great. Don't forget to come lay your bets tomorrow. Come lose your money.
There aren't many who can lay big bets, but Morse knows how to convince them. After a few free drinks, wallets open more easily. Most of the gamblers invest dirty money, large sums that they exhibit to show off.
He's laying money on the table. He's gonna bet tomorrow.
Morse's already found a few dozen gamblers for the next day, and as the hours go by, the more the amounts rise.
I put down 5,000 on this fight, and I don't regret it. Because I'll tell you one thing. How does a shadow economy work? You put in 5,000 and you get back 10,000. Street fights makes you a lot, and we don't give a shit. It's money under the table, and that's just how it is.
Fights, violence, money. It's a recipe that works the world over, in any field. We're in the United States. Unlike France, free fighting is legal here, and they're killing it. New York is the only state that hasn't given in. Here, free fighting is illegal. Well, not entirely. Recently, extreme fighting enthusiasts have found a way to get around the law and fight. Michael is 31 years old. This bachelor from a middle-class family doesn't need his fists to make a living, and yet, for the last 4 years, he's become obsessed with free fighting. For him, it's a way of life.
I think the confidence that I gained from martial arts definitely applies to other parts of my life. So while it's definitely a positive that I'm never physically intimidated by somebody, really the confidence I gained from doing mixed martial arts is more of just a self-belief.
This morning, like every morning, he heads to work on Long Island, a suburb north of New York. Seemingly a model employee, nobody would suspect that Michael loves to fight.
We are at my office.
Michael's a real estate agent. He spends most of his time in his office because he doesn't make a lot of money from fights.
Most important thing is to, make sure I can pay my rent this month, and then we can play afterwards. That's kind of what I look at it as. The closings are all during business hours. My training is after business hours, so time-wise, it works out pretty nicely. Yeah, they moved like a town.
His colleagues know his hobby. That's not the case with his clients, who are sometimes shocked by the marks left on his face. Black eye, broken nose. That's what his face looks like after a fight. Fortunately, Michael works with his family, with his brothers and sisters. His father is the owner of the company.
Good morning for us, so yeah.
It's my sister Paula.
Hi. Hi.
His sister doesn't like his hobby.
I don't really follow it that much. It's I don't know, people beating the crap out of each other really isn't my thing, so. I won't go to the fights. I can't. It's too much. He asked me last week, actually. He said, you're never going to come. And I said, I can't because I don't know what's going to happen.
Every day at lunch, Michael meets up with his coach. He works over 40 hours per week and trains at least 2 hours per day. For months, he's given up all of his free time for his next fight, which is in 2 days.
Mostly today is about, just keeping my reaction sharp, getting loose, getting a good sweat going. Not going too intense. Kind of save up my body because tomorrow's the weight cut and the next day is the fight.
Training for free fighting is very intense, but that's exactly what Michael wants, pushing himself to the limit, even if it means putting his health at risk.
You know, you have to have enough heart to stick it out through hard training sessions, which feel worse than death. You know, just your systems are all at the max. Your lungs are burning, your heart's on fire, your arms, your legs, they feel like you're gonna collapse. Have a good workout. I don't want to interrupt you or anything. You gotta get those fucking shoulders all big and powerful.
The opponent he'll be facing in 2 days is very strong, so Michael wants every advantage he can get. This evening, he'll train for an hour after work, but he's not sure it'll be enough. On the streets of Manhattan, we meet Marcus Surin, a Wall Street trader. Just looking at him, nobody would think he's a fearsome fighter.
You see Clark Kent, he wears glasses. You would never know that underneath his disguise, he's Superman. And it's the same type of thing, you know. When you approach me, you don't think that I enjoy fighting and training. But after I take all this stuff off, I like to think I'm a superhero in myself.
Marcus spends 60 hours a week yelling on the trading floor at Wall Street. He also trains 20 hours a week. At 35 years old, he's never lost a fight. Competition and performance. If he succeeds on Wall Street, it's also thanks to his fighting spirit.
It's the same type of rush, you know, because the phones are ringing, it's busy, you know, you have deadlines, you know, especially when you're working with people's money. They want things done then and there. So it's the same type of energy, same type of rush as if when you're training for a fight.
In 2 days, the trader will take part in a large free fighting event, the same as Michael. The next morning, a new scene. We're in Long Beach, 40 kilometers from New York. Michael lives in this white house with his two friends. It's just 24 hours until his fight. He has a problem. He's too heavy for his weight class. He has to lose multiple kilos in 1 day. Like before every fight, he'll be weighed. And if he goes over, he'll be disqualified.
I get to manipulate my body water to allow me to be under the weight limit of 155 pounds for a lightweight fighter.
Because he's overweight, Michael forces himself through an inhuman regime, dangerous to his health, especially the day before a fight. He's wiped out. He hasn't swallowed a thing since yesterday evening, not even a drop of water. It's still not enough.
So as long as I can keep a good sweat going in the sauna, that should come off with relative ease. And when I say relative, I mean it's gonna suck either way.
Michael has only 3 hours left to make it.
All right, let's go cut weight.
His plan? Lose 2 kilos through 2 hours in the sauna. It's strongly discouraged to stay in so long. When he comes out, Michael's unrecognizable. But he's made it.
I'm at 155.2 right now. Took a little longer than I expected. I wish I had lost a little more so I could drink a little on the way in, but...
The weigh-in is in the center of New York. Too weak to make the journey on his own, Michael asked his brother Thomas to meet him at the station. Without one drop of water in the last 24 hours, he's on the brink of passing out.
It's loopy. Right, no water. He's dehydrated. We gotta get him on that scale ASAP. Look like the Walking Dead right now.
And yet Michael's ordeal is not yet over.
Fist up, looking at me. Come closer. All right, perfect.
Completely spent, he stands courageously for the photo shoot without showing the slightest sign of weakness. Finally, the moment of truth, the weigh-in. The result, 70 kilos. He can fight in his weight class. A relief.
Time to refuel.
Michael Michael ducks out before the end because another challenge awaits. In the first restaurant he comes across, he'll gorge himself with pizza. Michael now has to regain all the weight he lost before his fight in 24 hours.
I wouldn't say it's something I'd recommend doing every day, but if you're already in good shape, you can definitely get away with it.
All fighters do the same, but it's a huge burden to put on one's body. But Michael is willing to do anything to win. Back in France, on the outskirts of Paris, in a famous flea market, we find Morse once again.
Hey, enjoy your meals, guys.
The rapper is a regular in this neighborhood.
You tell Mobito that to see him, right? All right?
Everybody knows him here. Yet nobody could imagine that he's in the middle of organizing an illegal boxing match. At every turn, he takes the opportunity to gather a few more spectators.
What's up, guys? What are you guys doing tonight?
Nothing.
Because I have a boxing match for you, and if you want to come, it starts at 6.
Yeah, all right.
You'll come. Davey?
Davey is one of his associates.
Davey will be here. Take their numbers, and then you can invite them later.
The two men have just a few hours to finish organizing. First, they have to contact all the gamblers to confirm the event.
27, 47. We will let people know by text message, by word of mouth, by contacts. And with the 2 or 3 guys we've got working for us, just to say, yeah, we're on for tonight. You still want to come?
But the hardest part to deal with is the police. A few minutes ago, 2 cops started patrolling Morse's area.
Yeah, but we're keeping them in sight. We won't let them go. They saw me, I see them, but they're leaving. So I'll stay behind them. Don't worry, I will follow and keep you posted.
Morse is not faint-hearted. At all costs, he wants to prevent a leak that could lead to the police interrupting the fight. To this end, he recruits lookouts, basically under the nose of the authorities.
What's up? I'm glad you're here on time. All right, today you're gonna check for cops or if you see anything weird, all right?
No problem.
You sure?
Definitely.
Okay, I'm counting on you.
No problem.
On a fight day, a dozen people work for him. For security reasons, the fight location has to remain a secret. After walking for a few minutes, we enter an abandoned building. On the last floor is the place where the men will face off. Tonight, Morse will also fight, here on this floor. His opponent has just arrived. His name is Brahim. Facing off against Morse is a question of honor for him.
We all try to show that we're the best, to show that we're the strongest, to show that we're not afraid. And when we get in the ring, even if we take a few blows, we're here, we come, we wait, we fight.
We have to hide this. Shit, call Davey. He has to cover this right away. Nobody should see.
So as not to be spotted by the neighbors, all of the windows have to be blacked out. Morse leaves nothing to chance. He even has a plan in case the police shows up. Everything is in place to stall them and evacuate the building in just a few minutes.
All of this is here on purpose to make a blockade. This bar blocks here so that nobody can enter. We block the doorway, the passage is blocked, and then we close the door with this. This is a special bar prepared beforehand.
The fights start in less than 2 hours, but before Morse has to meet up with his associates. The man in white is his right-hand man. His name is Alias.
You warming up, Morse?
He's the bookie for this evening, as Morse prepares for his fight.
Hey brother, how's it going? You good? Are you here for the fight?
Yeah.
In the middle of the street, in front of everyone, Alias deals with the first bettors and takes down their bets.
How much do you want? Come on, be crazy.
200?
200? All right, that works. What's your name?
Joe.
Joe. Okay, Joe, that works.
Passers-by, shopkeepers alike, everybody digs into their pockets to bet on Morse's fight.
You're putting 100 on Morse? Okay.
In just a few minutes, Alias collects a dozen bets. But because of our presence, business doesn't go as well as he'd like.
It's supposed to be a bit hidden, you see, so the guys don't like to bet when there are cameras. So now we'll take bets over the telephone, or they'll come. It's normal for them to hide.
This is illegal betting. If the police catch him in the act, Alias faces up to 3 years in prison. His schemes caught the attention of the police, who patrol relentlessly.
The problem is getting everybody in before agents in street clothes realize something's going on. And they are around. You see, they're already stopping the guy on the scooter over there. They saw him come out of here, you see, with a wad of cash. You see, they are searching him. They want to see what's going on.
But that doesn't stop them. As soon as the police are gone, they pick up where they left off. It's 8 p.m. The shop owners close their stands. And out of sight, gamblers and fighters head towards the ring.
Did you lock? Is it locked downstairs?
The organizers are on edge.
Lower your head. They're looking for you. Are you stupid?
Of the people working with Alias and Morse, many of them have had run-ins with the law.
And here you come to where it will happen. You have a security guard stationed in case there's something that goes down. These guys are no joke.
In the room, some 30 gamblers settle in silence around the ring. They are regulars, and they're here to lay down a lot of money. There are all types, shop owners, and a reality TV actor who was at Morse's party. He doesn't have it in cash, so he's going to lay down his gold chain.
This isn't crap, man. You won't find this at the mall. Comes from Switzerland.
If he wins, he'll win half of what he set down. It looks like easy money, but the man can lose everything.
If he loses, he has to pay his share. That's the very least. But in general, we work with people. It's a closed circuit, you see. All of these people that you see here are people who have already taken part or are close friends. They can be trusted. Or else these people are in business and want to lay down money on something else. They always pay.
Most spectators put down 100 on average. For the moment, the organizers have taken in about 2,000 euros in cash. While Alias counts up the money, the fighters warm up.
Left, right, left.
The first fight is in just a few minutes. Karar, the 100-kilogram heavyweight, will open things.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm ready. Always ready. Let's get going. You know, when they say fight, we'll fight.
All right, let me announce the first fight. 2 free fighting champions. Close the doors, nobody else enters, nobody else.
At the door, a hooded man blocks all entry and exit until the fight ends. The rules are simple.
Okay, no fingers in the eyes, no biting, no low blows.
Almost all hits are allowed. The men wear almost no protection. The only safeguard in case the fight turns ugly is that a ref can stop the match. Karar's opponent weighs over 110 kilos.
Great, and left.
Karar gets his rival on the floor for the first time. Heavyweight matches aren't quick, but their blows are strong. Fortunately, the referee intervenes after a few seconds. But then the match starts again. And once again, Karar knocks his opponent down. To keep his arm from getting broken, the opponent gives in. For a few minutes in the ring, the fighter earns between 500 and 1,000 euros. The risks are serious. There are never any doctors to help out.
All right?
Yeah, no, I'm fine. Yeah, just fighting wounds, a little thing, bit of pain, nothing. It's nothing.
It's the lure of money, but also the taste for risk and forbidden activities that drive all these men here.
You know, it's seeing the powers of the guys and, you know, how they box. You know, it's original, it's natural, it's really physical.
Time for Morse to don the gloves. Thousands of euros are at stake.
Hey, boss, there's a lot riding on you, huh? I have a lot myself. You gotta fuck him up, all right?
But this time there's also the pride and credibility of the rapper at stake in the ring. Brahim, his opponent, is not the audience favorite. The men face off in English boxing. They're allowed to use their fists. Morse quickly has the upper hand.
Go, go, go!
It's clear that Brahim is not in shape. It's his first fight, and he's completely out of his league. He's unable to block the blows.
Come on!
He has to give up quickly. Morse is declared the winner. Alias quickly looks over the bets.
Get out the list, sir. There's a lot of guys who owe money.
The unlucky gamblers have to pay up.
We have to collect the money that they lost.
Alias isolates himself to redistribute the money. Those who win have to gather their winnings quickly because legally, these bills are the only evidence that there was any illegal gambling.
He's paid? He paid?
They have to clear out the money quickly because the police could come at any moment.
And Morse, did you take our profit? All that's profit? Okay, did you pay the fighters? Everybody's paid. 2,650 euros. Okay.
Was the evening good?
Not bad. Not bad at all.
This money, clearly under the table, will be divided between the two collaborators. But before that, they have to safeguard the money. For that, they'll take a hidden exit.
To avoid being stopped by the police, first of all, because of the gathering that there was, in my opinion, there must be inspectors down there, and then to avoid problems with the money. There are always people who... You never know.
From here on out, every second counts. In this neighborhood, nothing's hidden, and they don't want to attract attention.
Okay, you block the entryway.
There's the police, but also the risk of being robbed. In less than 1 hour, Morse and Alias earned over 1,000 euros each.
All good. Can we go out or no? Let us know.
The two security guards escort them.
You see something?
No, let's go.
The coast is clear. Now they have to hurry to get the money to safety. In France, these underground fights mostly take place in specific suburb ghettos. But thousands of kilometers from here, free fighting is billed as a true to form show. New York. This is the entrance to one of the hottest nightclubs in Manhattan. This is where the new white-collar gladiators will face off.
Get a piece of wood, just jam it.
The workers busy themselves. This is the cage where the boxers will face off. 6 p.m. The event will start soon. The ring still isn't set up. The organizer is also a traitor. His name is Sean.
God damn it!
The best solution.
This former boxer, 42 years old, never lost the taste for extreme combat. Sean is playing for big bucks this evening. When he realizes there's a problem with the cage, the tone changes.
They fucked up the cage. We spent fucking $100,000 to produce this show, and we got the worst fucking ghetto cage on the face of the earth. And I got duct tape.
Without this setup, there'll be no fight.
This is unacceptable. This is a huge problem. And this is not the end of this conversation.
Sean is rich and dreaded. A curt word puts pressure on the site manager. 30 minutes later, the cage is finished. Hooded, cap on his head, you might not recognize Marcus, the Wall Street trader. He wants to inspect the site to plan out his fight strategy.
You also want to know how big the cage is for space, because when you're moving around, you know how much space you have, stuff like that. Smaller cage, you know that you can't get that much distance when you're fighting. A larger cage, you know you can move around a lot more.
Unlike in the rest of the U.S., professional free fighting is illegal here in New York. This is why in Sean's fights, only amateurs are allowed to face off.
And I produce this in the way that we produce it to show how wrong both the people that are against it are and the politicians. The politicians are saying, well, it's too violent. Based on what? What's your benchmark? Why do you say it's violent? Show me the facts why it's too violent. They don't have a leg to stand on. They're not based on facts. They're based on innuendo and fear.
New York is the sole state in the United States to ban free fighting. A handful of senators stand against the proliferation of the sport. Senator Kruger is one of them. She doesn't seem ready to take her foot off the gas.
In MMA, there are moves that are allowed that literally cut the oxygen off to the fighter's brain. And at least the advertised assignment for the fighters is to attempt to kill each other. The rate of serious injury to the brain of fighters in MMA was much higher than that in other kinds of sports.
For the time being, no serious study can confirm these claims. And while the senator hasn't succeeded in banning the show, it's partly because free fighting draws huge crowds. It's 8 p.m. and enthusiasts are already lining up. Tonight's event is sold out. More than 2,000 tickets have been sold. It's a first for a New York audience. A few minutes before the start of the show, Michael seems tense. The young realtor has never taken part in such a large event. He may well be an amateur, but professional rules apply. And in free fighting, almost everything is allowed.
This is a lot more permissive. We can do ground and pound to the face, which usually amateurs can't. They let us do a lot of techniques that you wouldn't be able to do other places. So I'm excited about that, being able to use more techniques. Look forward to being able to show what I can do.
Michael is about to live his dream. A dream of fights, fits of violence, even though he's not paid to fight. The public is also strange for this type of spectacle. Rich men and sophisticated women, and white collars who have just left work. In the VIP section, Wall Street Golden Boys gather together, and alcohol flows like water. The more blows, the more the audience roars. And for Michael's fight this evening, the audience is hungry for violence. In the cage, he appears determined. Even his face is transformed. The real estate agent has completely disappeared to give way to the warrior. His opponent is much more experienced than him. Michael knows it'll be a rough fight. Right now, Michael becomes a gladiator, and he's the one to pounce first. His office mates are in the first row to support him. Michael grapples his opponent and brings him to the ground. The two men remain locked together. End of the first round. There will be 5 5-minute rounds, but Michael won't make it to the end. At the end of the second round, Michael takes a hook to the face. A knockout punch. The doctors hurry over, Even if his eyes have remained open, Michael has lost consciousness. His opponent savors the victory. The minutes before Michael wakes up seem endless. He has to watch the replay with his coach and team to realize exactly what happened.
I'm not having that, bro. I'm not having that. I was like, dude, shut up. He was like, who are you? I'm like, shut up.
It's Michael's first knockout, and he's very bitter.
He just doesn't have experience.
I imagine I won't get medical clearance for at least a couple months, being that I got knocked out. I don't imagine this is the end of my fighting career. I'm going to continue martial arts. I don't know if it's going to be in the ring or what the next step is, but you know, this is a huge part of my life, so it's back to the drawing board for me.
It's 11 p.m., and the last fight is coming up. Marcus, the Wall Street trader. Marcus is taking part in the most important feat of the evening.
The guy gonna try to make you look bad in front of all your friends and family, man. We can't have this, my friend.
At stake is the title, New York Champion. This evening is the first time it'll be awarded, and Marcus wants it.
Sacrificed everything. Do your job.
Outside, a jubilant crowd awaits him. Marcus is the star of the show. His girlfriend isn't worried at all. She knows that her man never loses.
It is. He obviously puts a lot of time and dedication in at the gym, but everything that he puts in there, he puts into every aspect of his life, his family, his friends, his work, and into our relationship, and it's what I love about him.
Marcus is an expert wrestler. His opponent is a Thai box master. If he wants the upper hand, Marcus has to get him on the floor as fast as possible. His family, friends, and colleagues, everyone is there to cheer him on. His opponent resists as best he can, but Marcus is just too strong. In 2 minutes, he pins him to the floor. And that's when a long period of suffering begins. Marcus shows no mercy. He moves to a fearsome stranglehold. The opponent can no longer breathe. He has no choice. To stop the fight, he taps 3 times on his shoulder. Sean explodes. Marcus is the hands-down winner. He savors his moment of glory, but on Monday, he'll be back on the road to Wall Street to earn his living. Extreme fighting is so much in fashion that a new form of tourism has sprung up around it in Asia. Welcome to Thailand. This tourist paradise is renowned for its perfect beaches and ideal climate year-round. But for some time, another business has been generating more and more money: fighting. Thailand has become the promised land for many French people short on thrills. We head off to Ratchaburi, a small city 2 hours from Bangkok. This group of French people comes over every year to train and fight. In front of the town hall, a Thai boxing festival is being set up. Under the tent, a dozen fights will be held throughout the day, and each will feature a Thai against a foreigner. For Nicholas, a manager of a clothing store in Paris, it's a chance beyond his dreams.
I've been here for 3 weeks. I'm going to try to give it my all.
Are you a bit nervous?
Of course. I have to be. You need it.
Antoine, a Paris policeman, doesn't have the level to fight, but he's here to support Nicholas.
It makes me want to improve, to be in his place and try it. It's strange. It might be a form of masochism. I don't know. But I want to get in the ring and get that feeling. That's what we're all looking for, an adrenaline rush.
The match starts in a few minutes. On the jury stand are all the notables, the mayor, his cabinet, and also important local deputies and military officers. We may be lost in the heart of Thailand, but the fights are broadcast on television. Unlike France, protection is not required here. Any hit hurts.
You forgot your knee. Gotta bring back your knee. There.
Foreigners rarely win.
The one in the blue shorts isn't favored. The favorite is in the red shorts. Since it's a foreigner against a Thai, most of the time the Thai is favored.
This is Nicholas's chance, since his opponent appears younger and he outweighs him by 5 kilos. Clearly, this makes the task easier.
Let's go, Nico!
Despite his lack of experience, the fight turns in favor of the Frenchman. In the end, he wins after 2 rounds. But Nicholas isn't stupid. He knows that the bracket sometimes favors foreigners.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy. Still, there is a weight difference between us. He was lighter than me, and I could feel it in his hits.
There's no way you'll discourage these free fight enthusiasts, especially the money they bring in. Boxing supports over 200,000 people in Thailand, a real industry. Every week, hundreds of fights like this one are held throughout the country, and in large cities, training camps are springing up everywhere to accommodate foreigners. The next morning, we meet a small group of French people. They train here in an Ironman camp, where they exercise until exhaustion. What time did you start?
We woke up at 6:30 and we started running at 7.
Like all the others, Manu paid 500 euros to train for 1 month with room and board.
So this is my room?
And this is what he has. For the past 3 years, this young man, 25 years old, comes to spend part of his vacation in this austere camp.
That's it. There's a mattress and that's enough. Air conditioning, that's it.
And how many of you live here?
3.
Chambre d'homme.
These new extreme boxers are welcomed here. They fill the pockets of fight organizers and bookmakers. Betting on fights between Westerners and Thais can bring in a lot of money. The manager refuses to talk about it. He's unaware that we're filming.
Money is not declared, nor is it in the news. It's undeclared, it's unofficial. We just give an envelope to the police and it's good. There are other types of fights on the island.
We learn that there are also more profitable types of fighting. Fights between kids, banned by the Convention on the Rights of the Child, but very common in Thailand. To verify this information, we head to the southeast of Bangkok. After a few kilometers on a path, we arrive at a camp hidden in the middle of the Thai countryside. It's packed with children. In the center of the camp is a building. A metal roof hangs over the ring. It's nearly 40 degrees out. These children are young fighters. Some aren't even 6 years old. The oldest are hardly 16. In fact, we're in a training camp for child fighters. The owner of the place is this man in the blue t-shirt and hat. He doesn't let his little gladiators sit by idly.
Hey, you over there, why are you just sitting?
There's a fight tonight, and the organizer is counting on this tiny child. He arrived just a few months ago.
He's the champion?
That's him, the future champion. When he came here, he didn't know anything. 11 fights, 11 wins. He's never lost since he started.
My name is Petka.
How old is he?
I'm 10.
Like the majority of the children, he comes from a very poor province in the north of the country. He was sold by his parents because they couldn't raise him. In Thailand, boxing is seen as a social ladder.
All right, kids, kneel down.
Meaning organizers are held to little scrutiny. These kids aren't allowed to talk to us when the manager isn't present. And in front of the camera, he puts on a good act.
Good luck for this evening. Don't forget to write to your parents.
The manager takes care of the children. He doesn't get money from bets. His only requirement is that the children attend school. And they train after school. It's better than hanging in the streets and getting involved in bad stuff.
But these children often train for over 6 hours each day, and this is where they live.
Okay? Is it clean?
The children sleep here on the floor on simple rugs. For the organizer, these little fighters are a very profitable business. Following the young boys, we find an expensive SUV and a new house just built by the owner of the camp. It's 8 p.m. The children pile into their trainer's pickup. The 5 little warriors hit the road. "30 minutes later, we arrive in Rayong, a small town of 54,000. The party is in full swing. But the attraction that draws the most people is the kids' fight. In the ring, some of the boxers look very young. In any case, less than 10 years old, the minimum legal age to fight in Thailand. Yet it doesn't seem to concern the police, who sit comfortably in the first rows. The blows are extremely violent. Some of the kids even end up getting knocked out, to the delight of the unhinged audience. Just behind the ring, Petka, the little champion, awaits his turn, surrounded by his comrades, his biggest fans.
You have to win today.
Contrary to what the organizers told us, they do place bets on their protégés. That's actually how they earn their living.
You have to mix up your punches. If you always do the same thing, the other guy will feel comfortable.
If Petka feels pressure, it's also because many in the audience have laid money on him.
I'll put 20. 20.
In this type of event, gamblers communicate with signs and exchange money directly hand to hand. The bets are theoretically illegal, but sanctioned by local police. The police chief even gives a traditional flower crown to Petka before the start of the fight. His trainer's instructions are brutal.
First block, then go at him.
The little boy throws himself into the fight and attacks. He knows that the organizers are watching closely, but soon his opponent's blows have him in trouble.
Go forward, give it everything. Stay calm. Use your legs more. Hit him with your knee and then get out of the way. Be more precise.
Petka never complains. He takes criticism and blows without flinching. As the favored fighter, the result of his fight is eagerly awaited, and bets are skyrocketing.
I'll take 7-1.
If Petka loses, bettors stand to hit the jackpot.
How much on red shorts?
Rich businessmen also raise the stakes over the telephone. After suffering through 4 rounds, Petka takes the match on the referee's decision. The 12th fight of his career. In the form of payment, he'll take home a trophy and the equivalent of €2 in his pocket. The organizer can make up to €2,000, or 4 months of an average Thai salary. According to international law, exploitation and endangerment of children is entirely outlawed.